12-ounce can of soda, or $1.44 on a six-pack of 16-ounce bottles. Now that outlet, it also provided a photo from a customer at a Save-A-Lot in Northeast Philly. In that photo, a 12-pack of Lipton Diet Green Tea, which normally costs $4.99, is now $8.03. And let's bring out co-producer, co-writer Steve Lookner. This may not be classic news, but I think it's a good commentary on the times. He had an interesting email exchange very recently. It was with a model on, what's that show called? The Bachelor. I watched it, I think, back in 2002 for a few episodes. Haven't really watched it since. We're, of course, more partial to The Apprentice here. But this was interesting because she sort of got into it with him. And, well, you guys love hearing about Steve anyway. So you love hearing him. You want more Steve on the show. So here he is.
Hi, guys. Hey, happy 2017,
Did I
Adam.
time this right? Happy 2017 to you.
I think we got it.
Okay,
so, anyway, it's good to see you, everybody. So, yeah, I had this Twitter exchange yesterday, and it wasn't done with the intent of talking about it on your show, but I thought it was something that your viewers might be interested in. And by the way, if you'd like to see this exchange, you can follow me on Twitter at Lookner, Lookner. Do you want to take this opportunity to promote your?
You know what? Why
Twitter?
not? At Adam_Taxon at RSBN.com. And you know what? I just happened to remember Will Nardi's Twitter. I don't think I've ever mentioned that on air. He's at Will the Thinker. Might as well just throw it out there. Go
Okay.
on.
Also, Will sent us some marinara sauce today as a gift, but I don't think I'm going to try it. This exchange came up because I was reading my Twitter feed yesterday, and there's this guy, Richard Grinnell, who I follow, and I know you like promoting Twitter feeds. He has some interesting conservative tweets. It's at Richard Grinnell, and I think it's Grennell. Richard Grinnell had retweeted a tweet which was by this model, Olivia Caridi. And Olivia Caridi was on The Bachelor, I guess. I don't watch The Bachelor, but she was on a couple of seasons ago. And she had said something. I have the tweet here, and it was like this outraged tweet, and I want to read it to you. And it said, the tweet was, this is lame and sexist and misogynistic and pathetic and stupid and rude and gross. And I noticed that this woman posting this had like
Well, you gotta tell them what the picture was.
So I will. So I'll just say
sure.
so. If she was, all right, so yes, she was talking about an article in Politico, but I noticed that like this woman posting this had like 38,000 followers, and also her tweet that it was like misogynistic and sexist and lame and stupid and gross already had like 500 likes, and I was like, wow, this is an influential person. So this is like a really influential person like tweeting about an important subject, a sexist article, and I saw it was linked. What she was talking about was an article in Politico, and I looked what the article was in Politico, and the title was, I have this written down here, losing a presidential bid is a lot like getting dumped. That was the title of the article. Losing a presidential bid is a lot like getting dumped. And they're shifting me over now. Okay, so anyways, I saw this tweet that said this article in Politico is sexist and misogynistic. I hope I said misogynistic before instead of homophobic. I believe I did. Anyways, she was saying this article was sexist and misogynistic. And then I saw again the article was about how losing a presidential bid is like getting dumped. And I looked at the article and I saw the clip of the article, the screenshot, and it was just like a picture of Hillary Clinton. And I was like, that doesn't seem that sexist or misogynistic, but maybe I'll look at it.
Even a bad picture of her. She
no,
okay.
No.
She's fairly good in the picture for Hillary Clinton.
No, and so I just, I agree with you. And so, but I just figured, let me look. I want to look and see, what the sexist and misogynistic stuff is in this article, because I kind of have a radar when people say sexist and misogynistic. I sort of think maybe it's not true, but maybe it is. So I want.
By the way, how can you be misogynistic without being sexist? I mean, it's a little redundant.
So that was a logical point you made yesterday, and I thought there was some validity to it. So I click on the link of this story, and basically it turns out that like 90% of this story is about male presidential candidates who've lost the election and things they've done after the election, which are like things men do when they get dumped. Like, I think number 3 was grow a beard. So I don't think that was about women. That was, I think it was a picture of Al Gore growing a beard. Yeah. And then there was ones like taking a long drive, eating your troubles away. And so in no way was this like an article focused on like specific womany things that women do when they get broken up with. And so I noticed this, and so basically what I posted in reply to this Olivia Caridi woman was something like, I read the article, it's not really about women, my guess is you didn't read it. And that started this, I didn't expect to hear back or anything like that, but that started this back and forth with her, and she started like getting really angry with me, and her followers got really angry with me for trolling her and attacking her. And eventually it got to the point where her and her followers were saying, and you can vouch for this because you read the tweets, they were saying things like, we don't have to read the article to know it's sexist and misogynistic.
I've got to add something there. So basically you were trolling her, and you were, I guess, being some sort of bigot by suggesting that she actually read the darn article, which wasn't even long and which was most
exactly.
And I got to just mention one article, and I'm not kidding. It's on the Huffington Post. You saw it too. Well, just Google it. I don't have the exact title, and I'm going to let Steve get back, but it's important to read. I'm not kidding. Put in Huffington Post loophole that would give Bernie Sanders the presidency. Trust me here.
Oh, that's a good one to read.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't mean to get you off track.
I agree. That's fine.
That.
So anyways, the reason I want to share this this exchange is just, if you watch the show, one of my pet peeves is people who are big in media and journalists or people who have big followings, making these big pronouncements and saying how they're outraged and talking about how someone's a bad person or something sexist, and they haven't even done the minimal due diligence, the minimal 5 minutes of basic research to actually look into the thing they're so outraged about and that they're publicly criticizing to all their followers. And if this woman had taken 5 minutes to read the article... I think you're being a little cruel that it would even take 5 minutes. I think it was more like 2 or 3. Well, I'm being generous. I'll say 5 minutes. Okay. Well, all right, so let's say 5 minutes.
She's slow.
Right. But just don't. And I don't care if it's on the left or on the right. I've said this about people on the right too. Just if you're out there and you have a lot of followers, what you say matters. And it's like we have enough disagreement in this country without people stirring up people about sexism and stuff like that and misogyny over things that actually aren't sexist and misogynistic. And you could have seen this if you had been so not lazy as to take 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever it is to read the article. So please, everyone, before you get outraged online, don't be lazy and take the 5 minutes necessary to actually look at what you're supposedly outraged about. That's all I ask. So that's my little rant.
I think that concludes our, by the way, good rant. I agree completely with what you just said there, and I'm sure they're talking about it in the chat room, or start talking about it in the chat room. And that concludes our first broadcast of RSBN tonight in 2017.
Bye, everyone.